can I succeed? And success initially is, can I succeed 7 hours a day, but in chair writing? And that's my single goal right now. And to see if the math adds up. If I'm 7 hours button chair a day, can I actually create a pilot that passes Bill's muster? No, you know, I mean,
And truthfully, and we'll talk privately about it. It's not 7 hours in the chair. The the
five
building
hours.
the building a career has more than just typing or just writing. Okay, so
Understood.
we'll do that. And I have to say about Megan, because obviously I know her work because she took my class and I've become such a fan of hers, is that she has such a wealth of experience to draw on from her political background and her lobbying background and her marketing background, um, that, you know what, that informs her work, and that's just phenomenal, you know. So is there anything, is there any kind of referral we can give you or any kind of support we can give you other than monetary that we could?
Well, first thing, and I joke about, I use button chair as a euphemism for
Okay.
the discipline of the craft. No, the first thing is to create products. I have to create the product. So right now I'm working on a comedy product. I also have
And
drama product.
it's a great project. It's a great project. All right.
That's
Anybody have any questions or suggestions for Renee? Okay.
Or Veep.
What did you say?
House of Cards or Veep.
okay, what? I didn't hear.
House of Cards or Veep.
Veep.
Oh,
House of Cards or Veep?
I love House of Cards because that appeals to my depressing drama. You know, it's as dark as it gets. I've written dramas about terrorism and organ transplants and crazy things. But Veep, my current problem is my pilot is reading too much like Veep rather than its own satire. So you can't say Veep right now because I'm in trouble about making it sound like Veep. Yeah.
She's gonna be
Getting
fine.
admonished.
She's gonna be fine. She's gonna be fine with this particular project, and then she's gonna do others. So
anyway, enough about me. Let's move on.
yeah, well, yeah. Well, it is enough about you, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, right? What do we think about you, right? The Bette Midler line. Enough about me. What do you think about me? Megan, why don't you go? The question is very simply this, all right? What it is that we can help you with now or possibly support you with now, and how has what you're going through now impacted everything you're doing? And what is the long, I mean, again, because this is scheduled, I know some people think it's all, you know, a media conspiracy, but this is scheduled to not end quickly. She's suicidal now. She's suicidal.
The weird thing is I suffer from anxiety, and like honestly this is the best my anxiety has been, because I'm like, oh, the sky's falling. Oh wait, no, it actually is. Okay, cool, let's move on from that. Like I don't have to worry about like is the sky falling though? Like how many ways can we put it apart to see if the sky is falling? It's just, is the sky falling? Yes it is. Okay, let's move on and let's write. Which is a really weird place to come from. But I've been writing more than I have been. I've been more inspired than I have been because I write post-apocalyptic comedy, which is like, like literally, it couldn't come at a better time. I'm awful. But I don't know. I have all these pieces in my notebook, and that's one of my goals for today. Because I was talking to a friend who works remotely, and I was like, so I just got off of like a 2-day video game binge, and I don't know what to do with myself clearly. So like, I can't play Dungeons and Dragons and video games all day with my friends. I'm not in college. This isn't how this works. And he suggested coming up with some clear goals. So I realized that one of the characters is like basically very close to someone I know. So I realized the opposite of that would be very similar to me. And I figured out what their rooms are like. And now I figured out a little bit more of like their workplace and the environment characters are in. But I don't know. I don't know how much time I should be putting towards that.
All right, let's
before-
let's again, because the
Yeah,
problem,
I'm
one
rambling.
of the problems that I hear from you, and one of the reasons why I was inspired to do this video, coffee clutch as I call it, was because I think one of the best ways to deal with people's anxieties and frustrations and depressions is to have the consummate wisdom of a group and a social interaction. I find the self-isolation is really difficult. I mean,
Yeah.
the concept
If
of,
he's gonna FedEx Megan some Xanax, I don't extra.
you know,
I have
and
a prescription and I can't go and pick it up because they're like, well, there was a gap in you picking this up, so you have to come into the pharmacy. And it's like, I'm not going there. I'm not going there.
well, all I'm saying is that this hopefully will grow into a platform where people will be able to say to you, Megan, okay, video games is not the answer. 2 days of video games is
No.
not the answer. 20 minutes of video games is fine. 20 minutes, half an hour of words with friends is fine. But you need to structure your day and you need to have things that you are going to be doing. And there are going to be suggestions from everybody who are going to say, being online, you have so much that you can do to help you with whatever it is you want to do in your particular case. I mean, you could read various pilots, you could look at various shows, you could talk to various people, you could reach out on Facebook to people that you admire or anything like that. You know what? I have a coach, and he said, well, all right, the way we're going to present ourselves to people is this. With what's going on, I just want you to know that I've been very productive in these recent days because with my online business. I know it's not for you, but you might know 2 people who it's for. The point I'm trying to make, he then goes on to say, he said, the words are very, very important because when you say I'm being very productive, the chances of them being very productive are nil. So you have somebody who's going to go, really? You're being productive? Tell me more about it. So that's the point. And that to me is really what my ambition is. Now, this is our debut, but to me, that's the point of trying to have a virtual group gathering, whether you want to have a coffee or a wine or a vape, I don't care. But that so we can help each other understand that as soon as you say something like that, I'm sure there are going to be people who are going to come along and say, hey, Megan, what about this? What about trying this? And you need to come up with a daily method of structure, of what you're doing. So from 9 to 10, you're working out. From 10 to 11, you're reading, whatever it might be, and then from 11 to 1, you're writing. And from 1 to 4, you're checking what other people are doing. And when you're online, it's all available, all available. So the first thing I would say is just understand that, and then you can ask any number of people, any number of people, do you have any suggestions? And a matter of fact, I've been doing Facebook Lives for the past week, and one of the articles I came across, because what's happening is, particularly kids are going like, we're bored. Oh my God, are we bored? And they've been at it for 3 days. Well, there are these lists that people are putting up of things that you can think about doing, and you can get that. You can get those suggestions. You can get that information. So it's all a work in progress, but that's the main thing. Rather than worrying about the characters right now at this point, you need to structure your day so you can spend the time doing what you want to do and not waste a whole lot of time that doesn't apply to it. Okay? So that's all right. Yes, Renee, is that, do you have to go to the bathroom or what do you?
I just can't believe that you went from only think about characters to Megan doesn't. How come I need to think about characters, but Megan doesn't need to? That's unfair.
Because you're not playing video games for 2 days in a row. That's why.
Wait a week, Megan. He'll be harassing you about characters.
Well, when we get into it, we will be talking about that. A television series is based on characters. We know that, but that's a whole separate lecture.
Oh, the conversation.
Yeah, and we will get into that. Diane, do your pitch.
Mute.
Do your pitch.
Diane, you're on mute. Diane, you're on mute. There you
Thank
are.
you. Thank you. Yeah, I got it. Thank you. So I'm, unlike most, I'm busier than I've ever been. I'm feeling really positive. I don't listen to the news. I don't need to, because if there's something really urgent, I'll hear about it. So Bill and I are very different that way. He's a news junkie. To me, it's negative energy, and I do everything that I can to eliminate any negative energy from myself. I start my morning every morning with 10 things I'm grateful for. Every single morning. I'm on now day, I think it's 32 that I've been doing this. I've done it before and then I kind of stopped, and now my friend bought me a gift, and it's called the Paradigm Shift. And every day I do that, and I'm also keeping I'm focusing on my non-dominant hand. Every day I have to write this paragraph with my non-dominant hand, which is really, really interesting. And I can just tell you why, because I had no idea. And I was going to read this to Bill, and we never got a chance to, but I just want to tell you why this is so important to read.
How long is it?
It's just it's a pair. Oh God, is anybody okay? Forget it. I won't read it. Anyway, it's very interesting as to why it's necessary to do that. And actually, Bill and I were playing pickleball before everything was shut down, and I was actually trying to use my non-dominant hand with that as well. So it just helps the other side of your brain that is non-dominant. So anyway, but as you all know, I have my online business with Arbonne. I've been passionate about it for 8 years, and I've never been more passionate than now. And I found out just yesterday, which is so extraordinary, the kind of company that we're a part of. When this whole coronavirus happened and everybody had to go home to work, the distribution center is opened, and they have taken all kinds of precautions. But all of the customer service, all the people that had to actually go into a physical place, they've sent home with their own personal computer. I mean, what company does that? They've given everyone their own computer. So it's, it's pretty amazing. But for me, we know so many people that are in hospitals, and that the frontline workers are just not being taken care of. So I'm doing a hospital initiative, and I'm just going to share my screen just for a second, because I just want to show you this, because I'm really hoping that either you or someone that you know will, my hospital initiative. Okay, so I'm just going to bring this up and show you what this is. Okay, I'll just share my screen, and okay, whoops, take all this other stuff off. Oops, hang on. Okay, so this is the hospital care kit that I'm creating, and I'm just, as soon as we hang up this call, I'm going to be blasting this out on Nextdoor, on my emails, texts, to people to donate, because a lot of people want to be able to help, but they don't know how. And one of our, and Chuck, you may know her, Michelle Perkins, she's an Arbonne consultant. Well, she works in the hospital, and right now she's home with the coronavirus. So, but she knows enough doctors that will be able to ship these care packages to the doctors or to the nurses, and they will bring it in the hospital. We ship the package to the hospital. Oops. So I'm going to send it to an individual person. So my team is doing this, and everybody is, thinking it's a great idea. So this is what we're going to do, and the donation can be just as little or as much as you want. So I'm going to be sending this out to everyone. And so if anyone knows anyone that wants to get, and Chuck, you can do it with your team as well. There's, you could just, it's such a win-win situation. And so that's what I'm focusing on over the last couple of days, to create it, to put it together, to get my team on board, and to really get enough stuff for these frontline workers, because I just don't think enough people appreciate what they do for us, and how, it's like Bill is always saying, what is it Bill, you say, take care of the caregiver? What is it that you say all the time?
Take care of the caretaker.
Yeah, take care of the caretaker.
The caretaker takes care of the caretaker.
Right, so.
I would have to say that Arbonne and individuals in it have done this before in all sides of catastrophes, when there have been earthquakes and when there have been floods and when there, the immigration and the kids and whatnot. And I didn't realize how important the stuff like soap and toothpaste and hair shampoo is to these people. I always go like, what? There you got, what, you're going to send them shampoo? And it is so energizing and so important that every day the personal care stuff, I personally, that's been a learning curve for me, to realize how these personal care products really do make a difference, even in a time of catastrophe. So, again, that's why they're doing the thing of it's just a donation and the money gets pooled and then the stuff gets sent. And a lot of times, I know like with the flooding, Arbonne donated a lot. Arbonne as a company donated a lot. And I know, I'm still helping people in Puerto Rico because, obviously the country really didn't. So it really is important. So thank you, Diane. And I think that's a terrific, it's a terrific thing.
Yeah, it's great, Diane. Wonderful.
Chuck? All right. The question is, how is the double whammy of these two catastrophes, the financial meltdown, which let's call it a severe recession, and let's call it the plague, because my view is we could deal with one or the other, but put them both together, and I have no idea. It's a real catch-22 for me. How has it affected you? And maybe not much, like you said, you're financially okay. So maybe that, but maybe people stuff like that.
So in the real estate market, you have the people that they're ignoring all the stuff. Like, I stopped showing houses because if your house is for sale and I say, hey, I'm bringing in Mr. and Mrs. Jones, you have no idea anything about Mr. and Mrs. Jones. They could be carriers. You
couldn't even do that now.
No, well, they are still doing it.
Really?
I belong to the California Association of Realtors. I'm a director, and we work on a program sending out to all the realtors saying, you know what, you need to, because they feel that they are essential, that everybody needs to get a house. I take a different stand on it. I think a lot of agents in my business are all about the money. They say, oh, I'm into finding people homes. No, you're trying to find yourself a check. And so that's made our business different. There's a lot more stuff that's happening online. I see people doing open houses. They take a video of the home, they post that. With the housing market not being well, not a lot of homes being on the market, I think in the next month we're going to see a big change. I have like 3 escrows that are just hanging on because the lenders aren't, they don't know where their money's going to come from. So they've kind of slowed up their part of the deal. Inspectors, you can't get them, people don't want an inspector coming into their house because they don't know about that. Can't get the loan without the house being inspected. So it'll change. But I also wanted to say on about what you were talking about writing for shows and things. I belong to the Screen Actors Guild. I'm a wannabe actor. So I would say, the market is going more to online things. And as you see, like, parents are showing their kids doing arts and crafts thing, and other parents show, if you guys could come up with some storyline of, I don't know, somebody at home, like I do, say a real estate program or that's done online. I mean, I'm great at, no, I shouldn't say that. I'm good at talking.
Yeah,
Like coming sometimes, if you've seen any of my videos, some people go, you are all over the place. I have squirrel disease. I start on one thing, I'll be on talking Arbonne, and the next thing I'm talking the weather, or I'm talking houses. I need somebody like to focus me sometimes. So you guys might think about writing something.
That's normal. You're fine. Who does that?
Miss Xanax is saying you're fine. so no, but I was going to ask you, because I'm all over the video concept and the online concept. Even for your real estate business, for what you're doing now, and I know Eric, the guy that Megan works with, and I know. I mean, he's doing Monty Python every day, I think. But the thing is, you can do videos of yourself, as we learned, because one of the questions we talk about the difference between marketing and prospecting. Prospecting is when you're trying to say to somebody, "Are you looking for a house?" All right, and marketing is where you're just revealing who you are, because people are going to want to work with who they like. So this is the perfect time for you to really do videos. And I could see you look good, you sound good. I didn't realize you were an actor at one point. You could be making your own videos. You could even use Zoom and make your own video. But I mean, there are other ways, with a phone, I mean, anything that really do talk about what you're passionate about. It could be, it could be fly fishing. It doesn't matter. All right. Which will get people to inherently attach to you, so that when you do talk to them and say, you know what, I know it's a tough time, but when we come out of this, if you know anybody who's looking for a home, or anybody who's looking to sell or anything like that, have them give me a call. And they will, because they like you. Mm-hmm. They won't because you said, hey, anybody know anybody who wants to buy a home?
Exactly.
No, but you could do that now. This is the perfect window for doing that. And if you certainly need help with doing that, I could help you. Where do you live?
The Antelope Valley, up in Lancaster.
Oh, I won't help you.
Hey, it's not that bad.
No, but we could do it online. We just do it online. Bets?
Well, this time has not been particularly hard for me because I'm a homebody by nature. So I enjoy being home. And financially, the people whose daughter I took care of gave me a little stipend. That was very nice. And I just found out, I think it was yesterday, and I think it's what Congress is voting on, that the school district is going to continue to pay us, the nurses, just as they're doing the teachers. So that's good news. Plus, I'm looking for other opportunities. But again, being careful that I'm not overexposed. So, and I am not a productivity queen. I am not that productive, and I don't care. So, and I still enjoy. So anyway.
So has any of this affected you at all?
Well, let me tell you, I have a very good support system, both of friends, and also I'm very active in my Unitarian Universalist congregation in San Mateo. And one of the teams I belong to is the pastoral care team. So we're divvying up the congregation and calling them and emailing them and making sure that they're doing okay. So being very active in that. I have a good support system there, and it's fun to be able to reach out to other people and help them as well. So I'm doing great.
Great. All right. You know, I mean, that's.
Between Diane and Betsy, I feel like such a bitch. I'm gonna go out and volunteer. It's like, I mean, I'm a really nice person. I write checks to my nieces and nephews. I just feel like such a bitch right now. I gotta find something. I'm not.
No. Are you kidding
All right.
me? I mean, are you kidding me? That's the character.
Oh, Diane,
That's the
so
character.
beautiful. On the
We watched this movie last night. It's a new movie on Netflix, and it was called The Lost Girls. And it's about this woman whose daughter goes missing or something like that. But we understand her desperation in finding her daughter. We understand, we empathize with that. But she is such a bitch about it, you know? You know, I mean, she reams the cops. She reams everybody. And you go like, whoa, you know, is this the way you motivate people to want to help you? You know, and to me, that's the comic character. I mean, it's so funny. I mean, you know, it's sort of anyway.
money to build.
So
Biden, not enough.
I have to mention also that I'm a little bit of a news junkie, but I try to do it in moderation because it's just so negative. But as a comic relief, I've been watching Animal Planet's Too Cute. These are little kittens and little puppies, and you can't help but smile and just enjoy them and, you know, forget the others for other things for a while.
yeah, well, as part of my Facebook Lives and everything else that I've been doing now and do a day, and that, you know, fine. You know, it's like necessity is the mother of invention. I find I was supposed to do Facebook Lives, but this has given me the opportunity to really do it. But I talk to people all the time about starting the day with a laugh and ending the day with a laugh. And there's a site that I just say as an example. A friend of mine um, he's built an empire basically called the Laugh Factory. And there is a Facebook website, laughfactory.com, that has hundreds of hours of stand-up comedians. If you just go to that for 10, 15 minutes, all right, and I'm not saying I don't agree with it, laughter is the best medicine. You know, laughter really does a lot of the anxiety, a lot of the frustration, a lot of the depression can be alleviated with comedy, which is why Renee is so funny. So, and that's why it's, you know, it's so do those things. And it really is a great way to ease the tension in addition to Zoloft, in addition to other things, you know, but again, yeah, I mean, it really is. And the news doesn't have to be, it's the end of the world. Like, for instance, and I'm not using this as a holier than thou thing, the news can say, I got to come up with a way to do more. You know, I got to come up with a way that I either can help others or help myself or do more for myself. Or we're talking about that, or this is an opportunity. I mean, like one of the things I've been putting off for myself is that my book, Automatic Pilot, is 4 years old. I've been wanting to update it. I've put it off and put it off and put it off. This is the time to do it. This is the time to do it. So that's not depressing or negative. It's okay with what's going on. This does offer other opportunities. And how can we do that? Whether it be to help others, you know?
Bill, I just have to say goodbye. It's over an hour and I've got to go. I have another call. So
Is it over an hour? I'm sorry about that.
Yeah.
Thank you for being on. All right. Bye, Diane.
Okay. Right. I will talk to Renee. It's so nice to meet you in person.
Yeah. And I want you to let us know, you know, where we can reach you in case we know anybody who.
Yeah, I'm going to send out all of you. You know, Chuck, I'm not, let me
I have Chuck's. I have Chuck's.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Bye,
right,
everybody.
Quickly, around the horn.
Bye.
Around the horn. Is there a referral or something that we can give to each of you that would make a difference for you? Like with Diane, it would be, we know Diane's. Renee, a good psychiatrist, what?
I have a long track record of those. Obviously, it hasn't helped me. over these years.
Is there anything that that
I'm on a 90-day writing sprint. To me, it's about going back to what you said. I'm in a position to take those 90 days, and that's really all I want to focus on. So it's about creating product that I can step back and go, all right, is any of this any good? Where do I have potential to develop and where do I not? And to do an honest appraisal. That's me. So, but I'll read, Megan, I'll read your stuff. I mean, Bill's better, but I'm happy to read your stuff.
no. I mean, the thing is, Megan has to have stuff.
There you go, Megan. Join me on the 90-day writing sprint.
And you know what?
Oh, and I'm going to post somewhere because I feel like a bitch after your sister and Diane. So I'm going to find a way to volunteer.
No, but no, but what I'm saying is, I'm not suggesting you do it, but there is a power partnership between the two of you. Even though you're more advanced than Megan is, you might be able to springboard off of each other, or if you care to, or you might be able to give her some like I said, some suggestions to keep her away from video games or whatever. You know? So
My evil Dungeons and Dragons group.
Chuck, is there anything? Well, the videos, if you wanted to do them, I certainly recommend that to you. And let me just point out, and this to everybody, well, not to Betsy because she doesn't care, that audio is a terrific medium. You don't necessarily have to make videos. You can make audio things. As a matter of fact, one of the things I focus on now is what's called scripted audio, which is another course and the whole other thing. We used to call it radio, you know, but it's all these and there are these sites. I mean, there's a site called Old Time Radio, which is all the old radio shows of the 30s and 40s that are archived. And just to listen to them is such a treat when you're not staring at a screen. And audio is really very powerful. So Chuck, even if you wanted to do a message, whether it be marketing or prospecting or whatever it might be, do it audio. Much easier, you know, and it's very powerful. And once, as people say to me, once it's online, which it is, once it's global, people go, oh, I could listen to that in my car. You know, oh, I could listen to that while I'm at the gym. Well, not these days. But I mean, the thing is, I could listen to that, you know, while I'm taking a walk by myself, separated from all humanity. I could listen to that. And so I just want you to think in the terms of the different platforms there are, the different technologies there are that you can utilize to your benefit and the benefit of others. All right. And for me, thank you for being on this first of what, we'll see how long it will go. My goal is, I call it 11 at 11. I want to see if I can get 11 people on at 11 o'clock. So, and I could do it at different times. Like for Renee, she's on East Coast time. Now we can do one for East Coast time. It doesn't have to be, you know, West Coast time, if, you know, and so that's why I'm saying when we collect who's interested in doing something like that, I'm asking them what time zones they're in, you know, and what times would be the most available. So we can create one of these things for that. You know, it doesn't always have to be West Coast. So any final words from anybody?
Oh,
It's so nice of you to put this together.
sorry, you go ahead, Renee.
No, I was just saying it was so nice of Bill to put it together.
Nice of you to show up. Okay. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Have a good rest of the boring day.
Bye.
Bye.